r/AskReddit. What things are charming/sexy if you are attractive, but weird/creepy if you are not? There was once a study where they had an attractive person stand on a street corner. He or she was described as brooding, mysterious, or pensive by passers-by. Then they did it with an unattractive person who was described as creepy, weird, or potential school shooter. I'll try and find it so I can link it, but it fucked up. Someone that I didn't know once told me to my face that I looked like a school shooter. Guess I know what camp I'm in. That's the thing. If you're an ugly dude who likes to wear hoodies, you fall into the demographic of most likely to shoot up the school. Shit, I wore hoodies too. God, I must not know what I was capable of. Fell into this category. In Australia, we don't shoot up schools. Blew some f***ing big holes in the athletic records later that week though, lol. Prolonged eye contact and smiling at a stranger. This is accurate. At a bar once with a girlfriend, I pointed out a handsome guy across the room. We both stared at him for a while and he caught us. When my girlfriend went to the bathroom, he approached. He said, "Your friend was creepily staring at me." But she and I had both been staring. He just happened to find me attractive and not her. He prob says that to all the girls. This is why I only hold the door for people that are uglier than me. You're ugly and holding a door? No thanks. I'd rather jump off a bridge. Weirdo. Sad reality is pretty much damn near everything. Look at what happened to Richard Jewell. He was working as a security guard for the Atlanta Olympics when he found a bomb planted at Centennial Park in the middle of a concert event for the spectators. Hundreds of people could have died if he hadn't found that bomb and gotten the crowd away from it. He was also overweight, a loner, single, liked arcades, kept porn magazines under his bed. It's the mid-90s. Who didn't? And lived with his mom. Somehow this led to him being accused by the media of being the terrorist, and the months of thrashing he got in the media began not even a week after the bombing. Yes, the FBI considered him a suspect, but he was one of multiple suspects, and he was not considered a prime suspect over the many others that the feds were looking into. I don't think things would have gone the way it did for him if he looked more like James Dean than what he actually looked like. At least the Clint Eastwood movie about him was great. Paul Walter Hauser is one of my favorite actors and he did Jewell justice. The film was excellent. I agree. I think one of the most powerful points he makes in the film is near the end, where he's confronting the FBI and says, "I did my job that night. Some people are alive right now cause of that." But the next time some security guard sees a suspicious package somewhere, I think he's gonna call it in. I doubt it. He's gonna say to himself, "I don't wanna be another Richard Jewell, so I'm just gonna run." And how's that make anybody any safer? He's right. This constant profiling of the stereotypical creepy guy does nothing to help anyone. Jewell was subject to one of the most vicious and disgusting media campaigns ever. He did nothing wrong. I'm glad the world is finally getting to know his story. Being good with kids if you're attractive, or he's totally husband material if you're ugly. OMG, he probably drives an ice cream truck. Watch out, Billy. I was applying at a daycare and the people liked me and said I was great with kids and they'd love to have me, but then the boss said that I should be ready to be called a pedophile by some parents because they are not used to see men working with little kids. That's a real shame. Because when my son was in daycare I always was happy when he had male teachers, because it was so infrequent, and I think it's great for boys to have positive male role models, more than just dad. Having a crush on someone. Yup, can confirm. This was me when I was 11 over 12 years old. At least that 1 year taught me that I needed to work on my social skills when it comes to talking to girls. I'm certain that I was pretty creepy back then. Honestly, being shy or quiet when someone is attractive, it can be endearing. If they aren't, it can often be mistaken as creepy or brooding. People say I glare all the time, but that's just the way my eyes are. People say I seem pissed/sad all the time, but it's just that my neutral face expression is a little bit negative, and I don't randomly smile when looking at or talking to people. Yeah, resting bitch face. I've got it too. Lots of people do. They did a couple of tests a few years ago where they had really attractive men make Tinder profiles and explain that they were registered sex offenders in their bio. Women not only messaged and swiped right but often made jokes about it. Holy shit, that's f***ed up. It is. However, I'm pretty sure the outcome would be the same in a study with reverse genders. Female registered sex offenders would likely get more matches. Hey, she's DTF. Do you want to go on a date with me? Ick, now what? Yeah, I've had a rough week and think I'd enjoy that. DM me. And people say Redditors are antisocial. PFFFFT blasphemy. Pop a cock even. The entire 50 Shades of Grey character. That dude lives in a trailer and he's in prison tomorrow. He stalked her big time. He was super controlling and he pressured her into abusive sexual relationship, for people calling it BDSM. It's not, etc. If he was anything but rich and handsome, all that would be major red flags and he'd probably be seen as a creep at least. Instead, he's romanticized AF. He just loves her, but knows no better. Apostrophe. I think over on the YouTube channel the film theorists they even came to the conclusion that he straight up uses strategies that cults use to recruit candidates. Now I have to watch that movie. Gonna get me a girlfriend. Existing. As a guy, walking around outside without a shirt. You know what's funny is, at least from the angle of not being into the person, no matter what, I've almost found the opposite. I work out a lot and have a pretty decent body, albeit super pasty, but I almost never go shirtless, unless at a pool or something like that, because people will give me shit for trying to show off. But my friends who have rad dad bods can go shirtless with impunity. It's just like, oh yeah, it's hot outside makes sense. This may not be universal, but it's something I noticed, and I find kind of funny. Dude. Couldn't agree more. Because I work out. If I go shirtless, or even if I wear a tank top, I'm showing off. But if a fat dude does it, he's just hot. I get hot too, you know. And besides, I work hard to be in good shape. I shouldn't have to hide my body, because others feel insecure about their own bodies. 90% of the shirtless guys I've seen have been trying to show off their gym bodies though. It's awkward AF and nobody likes it. If you want to show off to a girl, find a way to show off to only her. Not make every non-interested person around you feel awkward and want to leave. Yes, some guys do what you are describing. Same way some women show off their bodies for attention as well. But what I was referring to was the situation where it seems acceptable to do it if you have a dad bod vs a fit body. I've literally gotten comments on a 90-degree day while running in the park with not a female in sight. The comments are always from other men. I've never had a female say anything negative. Making inane comments about a woman's clothing. Example, that dress looks good on you. Women seem to be flattered vs being creeped out based on if you're ugly or attractive. When you say something like that dress looks good on you implies that it might not look good on other women. Meaning you're paying more attention to her body than her dress. If you just say I like your dress, it doesn't sound as sexualizing to her. That's the point. Showing you both show an interest in their fashion choices and how they wear it. Works on more than one level. I was working as a laborer during the summers while I was in university. One day I went to a chain sandwich place for lunch. This girl I knew a bit from high school was working there. We went to different schools so were never close, but had met a few times. I thought she was super cute, so I went to that restaurant for lunch a couple times a week hoping to talk to her again. Turns out she worked at a different location and was just covering a shift. I ended up asking her out via Facebook. Almost 10 years later, we are common law married. We often joke about how that would have been super creepy of me if she didn't find me attractive. Just compliments. If an attractive guy tells a girl she looks beautiful, she'll be happy and find him to be flirting. If an unattractive guy called her beautiful, she would consider him a creep and proudly tell him off for it. This happened multiple times at my workplace. There were very attractive men who would openly flirt with the women. And once I got called into hours for saying the word sex in a non-sexual context. Shoulder started filing complaints. Workplaces are every bit as cliquey as high school cafeterias, and HR 100% favors some employees over others. We don't grow up, we just grow old. That whole dark/brooding/edginess thing intrigues a certain type of girl for good looking guys. Otherwise you're just an asshole. Well, I mean, both are probably assholes, but you see what I'm saying. Edit. Oh, and in high school/early college hothead/badass vs psycho, I've been friends with all of these stock characters at some point or another, and there is definitely the kind of guy who can punch a hole in the wall and socially survive. And the kind that can't. Good thing I start socially dead and don't progress from there. I found Reddit to be a good substitute for people. Taking your nephews to the park and playing on the jungle gym with them. Winking. Winking is never charming. No matter what you look like. Well, it's adorable when my so does it, because he sucks at winking. I wonder if confidence is. People talk about confidence like it comes out of nowhere. Attractive people are more confident because they have been complimented their entire lives. Of course it plays a role. It's difficult to be confident if you have been referred as creepy your entire life. Saying hello. Hello. I'll show myself out. Wrong door, dude. It's a push door, not a pull door. Come on. Laughs in sliding door. Everything you see in rom-coms. Buying someone a drink. Hot, thoughtful, nice way to start conversation. Not hot, all the roof is. You're close. The hot guy is just taking her home to bang without even spending a dime. I stopped spending any money on women for the first month or two at least, long ago. The only women it makes a difference with are gold diggers, and you don't want them anyway. Strong women have their own money and can pay their own way. Imagine a woman you find unattractive buys you something. Does that make you suddenly desire her? Approaching strangers. Everything. Literally every behavior will be interpreted differently if a person is attractive or unattractive. You've reached the end. You're a star. Destroy the subscribe button for more like that.